Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a major problem that many meditators face while doing the meditation: the background noises. So how can we deal with these annoying background noises? Well, there are so many things that you can do to deal with these background noises. Suppose you are living in a noisy environment. Sometimes you don't have the ability to go to a monastery or go to a quiet place and do the meditation. Sometimes you have to do in your apartment. Maybe you're living in the roadside, so you have to do the meditation. When you're living in these noisy environments, when you do the meditation, normally our focus and our attention is dragged by these background noises. So how can we deal with these things? Well, there are a few things that you can do. First of all, you have to know there are two types of noises. The first type of noise is the noises that doesn't prevail for a long time. It just come and go. Okay, maybe the sound of a vehicle, maybe a sound a dog is barking, or maybe a sound of an animal. So it doesn't prevail for a long time. And there are some noises, that is the second type of noise, is there are some noises that prevails for a long time. It may be a machinery noise, it may be someone is banging to a nail from a hammer, so it prevails for a long time. So you have to act and you have to deal differently in these two circumstances. First of all, let's learn how to deal with the noises that doesn't prevail for a long time, right? So suppose you are meditating. For an example, you are doing the breathing meditation. You're focusing on your breathing pattern. So all of a sudden, you hear a loud noise, right? Now, right at the moment you heard the noise, it vanishes away, right? It doesn't prevail for a long time. So, for a split second, your mind jumps out from your focus and it wanders in that noise, thinking about what was that noise? What has happened, right? So, first of all, you have to be aware that your mind is not in the meditation, right? You have to know that. Don't chase behind that noise. Don't chase behind that thought, right? So once you become aware that I heard a noise, now my mind is not in the meditation. Now I have to bring back to the meditation. So you just bring back your mind and distracted mind to the meditation again. Okay, so that is how you deal with the noises that prevails for a shorter time period. So let's think that the noise is prevailing for a long time, right? Now, how can we deal with that? Well, first of all, when you're meditating, now in the same way, when you're meditating, you heard the noise. Now it is going to prevail for a long time. Right at the moment when you hear that noise, right, you start to fight with that noise. That is what most of the people are doing, right? They think that, oh, this sound is annoying. Now it is disturbing me. Now how can I do the meditation? All the times when I'm doing the meditation, this sound comes up. Now you're trying to fight with the sound. Don't fight with the sound, right? There's a saying, it says, what you resist persists. That means if you are resisting something, right? If you are rejecting something from your mind, chances are very high for it to come and haunt your mind again and again. So don't fight with the noise, right? Instead, you just listen to that noise for a little while, right? Suppose the machine started working. Now you hear the noise and you think that it is annoying, right? Don't try to fight with that, right? Don't try to be upset, because you cannot control the noises. These things are out of our control. You have to know that, right? So what you have to do, don't try to focus on the meditation again and again. Don't try to force your mind. First of all, what you have to do, just listen to that noise, right? Listen to that machinery noise for a little while, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It doesn't matter, right? Take your time. When you listen to that noise, when you be with that noise, it becomes a normal experience for you. The more you reject that noise, it becomes new and new again and again for you. So what you have to do, just be with that noise, listen to it for a little while. After it becomes normal noise for you, what you have to do, bring back your mind to the meditation again, right? So after doing that, it becomes a normal noise, so you can focus your mind to the meditation correctly. So that is what you have to do when you are dealing with the noises that prevails for a long time. Now remember, when you are well focused to something, right? When you enjoy something, the distractions, the noises that prevails in the environment doesn't bother you. For an example, when you listen to your favorite song, do you hear any background noises? No. Why is that? Because your mind is well focused to that, you are enjoying it, all the senses are into that song. So same goes with the meditation. Once you enjoy your meditation, once your mind is well focused to it, the background noises is not going to bother you. So what you have to do, just listen to those noises, be with them, be friendly with them, don't hurt yourself, right? Because you have to know that these noises, the things that are happening in the environment, cannot be controlled by yourself. They are out of your control. So what you have to do, when you feel and when you hear the distractions, bring back your distracted mind to the meditation again and again. And that is how we deal with the distractive noises while doing the meditation. So practice the meditation and enjoy a peaceful life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the hindrances for your meditations. Now, when we talk about the meditation, one of the basic things and one of the most important things that we are focusing in the meditation is to be mindful and to be focused and to be concentrated. But when we are doing in meditation, when we are doing it practically, there are some obstacles that we face during this course. So these are sort of thoughts which arises inside your mind, which keeps you away from the concentration and the focus and tranquility, and most importantly, the enthusiasm of your meditation, right? So we need to learn about these thoughts, and we need to learn how to stay away from these distractive and destructive thoughts for the meditation. Our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, taught us there are 5 hindrances for the meditation. So these are sort of thoughts actually. These are not external things which disrupts your concentration and disrupt your focus in meditation. All these things are generated inside your mind. They are thoughts. So being their thoughts, we can control them, right? We cannot control the external situations, external experiences that we can face during the meditation, right? But we can control the thoughts that are inside our mind. So what are these 5 hindrances? The first hindrance is known as kama chanda. Kama chanda means the sensual desire. For an example, when you are doing meditation, Sometimes our mind wanders in the thoughts which are connected to lustful experiences. It may be an experience that we had, like we had some delicious food. We were thinking about delicious food. Maybe a nice movie that was watched in last week, right? If our mind wanders in these lustful thoughts, normally our concentration is destroyed. We lose our focus in meditation, right? So lustful thoughts or the sensual desire, this sensual craving is a hindrance for our meditation, right? That is the first hindrance. Number 2, Supreme Buddha said, the second hindrance is vyapada. What do you mean by vyapada? Vyapada means the ill will or the anger. If you sat down for the meditation with anger, can you do the meditation for a long time? No. Your mind will be distracted, your mind will be scattered, and also you feel that inner heat and inner anger that is building up inside you. When you build up inner anger, this aversion inside you, you cannot meditate. Your mind is not ready for the meditation. So we need to avoid the anger also when we are doing the meditation. Number 3, Supreme Buddha said, Tinamidda. Now this is one of the most common hindrances that arise during the meditation for many people. What is that? Dullness and the drowsiness. That means the sleepiness or laziness that arises inside our mind. Most of the time, when we start meditation and when we are doing the meditation for a little while, many of us feel sleepy. Actually, all of the people who are starting the meditation go through this situation. But that is quite normal. So if you need to stop this dullness and drowsiness or sleepiness during meditation, there's another video that is done by us. So you can check out that. That describes about how to stop the sleepiness during the meditation. So sleepiness also a hindrance for the meditation and for the concentration of your meditation. And then, fourth one, Supreme Buddha said, Uddacha Kukucha. That means restlessness and the remorse. So, restlessness and remorse is a mental condition. That means when you regret about something that has happened in the past, normally what happens to your mind? Your mind gets scattered, right? It gets restless. So, if you're constantly thinking and regretting about the things that have happened in the past, when you're doing meditation, you have run out of the focus. You are out of the meditation. So that is also a hindrance for the meditation. And number 5, Supreme Buddha said, Vichikicha is a hindrance. That means the doubt, the skeptical doubt is a hindrance for your meditation. Right? That means if you are constantly doubting about yourself, whether I'm doing it right or not, right? Am I doing it correctly? Am I in the correct path of meditation? If you're doubting about yourself during the meditation, you cannot meditate for a long time because you don't find any enthusiasm or you don't find the joy of the meditation. So these are the 5 hindrances for our meditation. They are Kamachanda, the sensual desire, Vyapada, the anger, the aversion that is built up inside our mind. And then we have Tinamidda, the dullness and the drowsiness or sleepiness, Uddacha Kukucha, restlessness and remorse, and Vichikicha, doubting. So if you can stay away from these 5 hindranceful thoughts, during the meditation, your meditation will be more peaceful and more enjoyable, right? So, how we can stop these 5 hindrances? How we can stay away from these 5 hindranceful thoughts? Well, our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us as the first step, if you need to stay away from these 5 hindrances, you need to be aware of your thoughts. You need to be mindful about your thoughts, right? That means it's like a gate to your thought. And there's a gatekeeper in front of that gate, right? So what is the job of a gatekeeper? He is responsible for the people who are going through the gate and coming out of the gate, right? Then, if that gatekeeper keeps an eye upon the people who are coming in and going out, he can detect who are the good people and who are the bad people. Same like that, if you can be mindful, if you can be aware of your thoughts, then you can detect what are the good thoughts, what are the hindranceable thoughts that is coming to my mind, right? So when you are doing meditation, for an example, all of a sudden it is quite normal when we are doing the meditation, it's quite normal. These hindranceable thoughts will come to our mind. Then, as the first step, what we need to do is we need to detect these thoughts, right? For an example, if a lustful thought came to your mind, then you have to know, this is a lustful thought. Then you need to use your wisdom. What is that? This is not what should I think about now. Now I am doing the meditation. When you be aware and when you detect the thoughts, there is a big probability for that thought to fade away from your mind because you become aware of that, right? Most of the hindranceable thoughts, these thoughts, are arising because of the unawareness, right? We are not becoming mindful about our thoughts. So as the first step, you need to detect these thoughts and you need to constantly remember to yourself, this is not the meditation and this is not what I should think now. Then you need to take back your scattered mind, your unfocused mind, bring back to the meditation again. And when you're doing the meditation for a little while, again, what will happen? Again, the nature of the mind is to wander around these 5 thoughts. So once you become aware of these thoughts, bring back your scattered mind again to the meditation. If you're constantly doing this, there will be one day that you get used to be in the meditation, your mind gets used to be in the meditation rather than wandering here and there in these 5 thoughts. Because meditation is more peaceful than these 5 thoughts. Normally we chase behind these thoughts because we find some pleasure and we find some enjoy in these thoughts. But remember, rather than being in these 5 thoughts, these hindranceable thoughts, it is much more tranquilized and much more peaceful if your mind stayed in the meditation and if your mind becomes concentrated. So you need to have a big desire to be in the meditation, right? Not to wander in these 5 thoughts. So these are the hindrances that disrupt your meditation and disrupt your concentration in the meditation. So you need to be aware and you need to be away from these thoughts while doing the meditation. If you can stay away from these 5 thoughts, you will have a wonderful and peaceful and more enjoyable meditation in your life. So stay away from these 5 thoughts, try harder and enjoy a peaceful and a perfect meditation in your life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another video in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, we are going to discuss about one of the most frequently asked questions in meditations. And what is that question? How can we stop feeling sleepy during the meditation? So this is one of the most frequently asked and one of the most common experiences in the meditation, and one of the most frequently asked questions from the meditation masters. How can we stop the sleepiness in the meditation? So remember, our great teacher Supreme Buddha said, the dullness and the drowsiness or sleepiness is a hindrance for the meditation. Hindrance in the sense, it's sort of like an enemy to the meditation, right? It disrupts your focus, it disrupts your concentration, and it decreases your joyfulness of the meditation. And also Supreme Buddha said, a hindrance will always decrease the wisdom of ourselves. So there are 5 hindrances, and out of those 5, the dullness and the drowsiness and sleepiness is also included. So how can we stop feeling sleepy during the meditation? And what we can do to stop this feeling? Well, there are several things that taught by our great teacher Supreme Buddha to stop feeling sleepy and to deal with the sleepiness during the meditation. First of all, we need to remember that one of the most important things that we need to develop within ourselves during the meditation to stop feeling sleepy is to be aware of our thoughts. Right? If you are not being aware of your thoughts, then the sleepiness will come inside your mind and it will take actions. Right? That is why you are continuing to sleep during the meditation. So the first thing that we need to develop to stop this sleepiness is to be aware of our thoughts. When you feel a little bit of drowsy and dizzy and drowsy during the meditation, then you need to be aware and you need to detect that thought. You need to tell to yourself, now I'm feeling sleepy. Now I have to take actions. Right? So what we can do to stop and deal with this sleepiness? Number 1, Supreme Buddha said, first of all, change the perception of meditation. That is the first thing that we can do, right? For an example, if you are doing mindfulness meditation, let's say you become more mindful about your body and you are doing meditation, and with the time you felt sleepy and drowsy. Now you need to detect that thought and to be aware of that thought, and then you need to shift your perception of meditation. So if you're doing mindfulness meditation, then you can change it to breathing meditation. When you change your perception and when you change the focus of your meditation, it will take you away from the thoughts of drowsiness and sleepiness, right? So that is the first thing that you can do to change the perception of your meditation. You can practice another meditation like loving kindness meditation or gratitude meditation, compassionate meditation. And then after some time, after you're feeling okay with that, then you can come back to the normal meditation that you were doing. So that is the first step. And number 2, Supreme Buddha said, change your perception of meditation and start to think and consider about something that you have learned before. It is okay to change the perception and to shift away from the meditation that you are doing and think about something else for a little while to stop this sleepiness. Right? So think about something that you learned in the past, and you have to wisely consider about that. And when your mind is thinking about something, then it will distract you and it will take you away from the sleepiness, the thoughts of sleepiness. So that is the second thing that we can do. And the third thing, Supreme Buddha said, you need to recite something. It may be a chanting, it may be a verse that you have learned before. You need to chant it, right? If your sleepiness is still there, then you can go for a chant, right? Do a chanting for a little while, and then again, when you feel okay, come back to meditation. So this need the patience and this need the courage to do this. And also remember, don't enjoy the sleepiness than the meditation. That is why most of us are like feeling sleepy and fall into sleep while meditation. We enjoy the sleepiness more than the meditation. Remember, when you sleep, it is also a sort of relaxation to your mind. But if you meditate correctly, if you build up the concentration and tranquility in the mind from the meditation, you will feel more refreshing and more enjoyable and more relaxed from the meditation than the sleepiness. So don't enjoy your sleepiness than the meditation. Okay, there's another thing that you can do. That is, Supreme Buddha said, you can get up from the seat and you can do a walking meditation. You can walk to back and forth by thinking about the meditation, right? When you walk and when you change your position of meditation, right, then it will also distract you from the sleepiness. So you can do the walking meditation. And still, if your sleepiness is there, then what you can do? Supreme Buddha said, pinch your ears and rub your limbs. When you pinch your ears and rub your limbs, the sleepiness will go away. That is another thing that we can do to stop feeling sleepy. And also, Supreme Buddha said, if you are still feeling sleepy, then get up from the seat and flush your eyes with cold water and go outside and look around the nature, be with the nature for a little while, and again come back and sit down and do the meditation again. And if you're feeling still sleepy, then what you can do? Supreme Buddha said, focus on a light, right? Look at a light and focus on it and take that image into your mind. Now, when we close our eyes, it normally feels like dark and we cannot see anything, right? Sometimes when we get used to the dark, normally it tends our mind to be sleepy. Then if you can imagine a light inside your mind, then your focus will be in that light. So you can stay focused to that light for a little while, and if you feel okay, then again, what you have to do, come back to the meditation again, right? And finally, this is the final thing that Supreme Buddha said us to do to stop sleepiness. Get up from your seat and think about the waking up time. I'm going to wake up from 30 minutes or 1 hour. Have a little nap, but be conscious and be aware of your sleeping time. You can have a little bit of a nap if you're feeling too much sleepy. But most of the time, many of the people who meditate, they choose the final thing first. Don't do that, right? There are many things that you can do, right? You can change the perception, you can recite, you can chant, right? And you can do the walking meditation, and you can flush your eyes with cold water. There are so many things that you can do to stop feeling sleepy. If you continue this with the time, remember, your meditation will be more successful. You will not feel sleepy anymore. right? Most of the time, the beginners of meditation feels sleepy. But when you dive more into that and when you do it for a little while, you will feel okay and you will feel more refreshing while doing meditations. So practice these things when you are doing meditation if you felt sleepy, and stay away from the sleepiness. So I hope this gave you a little bit of a light to your meditation. So practice these things and enjoy a perfect and a peaceful meditation. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, I'm going to teach you about the postures of meditation. We are going to learn one of the most easiest postures to the one of the most hardest postures, and we are going to learn how to sit in these postures one by one. Before starting the video, I need to make a quick disclaimer that if you are not in a good condition of health, then do these postures at your own risk and don't go for the hard postures if you don't have a proper health. So make and maintain easiest postures in your meditation. And let's get into the video. Now we are going to learn how to sit on a chair for meditation. Now sitting on a chair is one of the most easiest postures to do the meditation. All of you can do it, and if you have health problems, if you have flexibility problems, this is the most ideal and most easiest way to sit for the meditation. Now I'm going to teach you how to sit correctly on a chair for meditation. So when you sit on any kind of meditation posture, one of the most important things to do is to maintain a steady and upright and a most relaxing posture. So because we are doing a meditation, so it needs to be relaxed and it needs to be peaceful. You don't want to get hurt, or you don't want to feel hurt. So in any kind of meditation, the most important thing is to maintain an easy, relaxing, upright and steady posture. So when you sit on the chair, it is much more important to maintain an erect and upright posture. So if you can keep your legs together like this, normally your body becomes straight. And do not slouch back like this, because when you slouch, it is not good for your backbone and it's also not good for your health. So always you need, when you are doing the meditation and when you're sitting on the chair, you need to maintain a good and upright, steady posture like this. And also, when you keep your hands upon your knees, it normally gives you a good support to maintain a good erect posture. So this is how we sit on the chair to do the meditation. So when you sit on the chair, remember, if you need a little bit of a back support, you can lean back to the back support, but do not depend on that. Because when you depend on the back support, sometimes you may fall asleep, maybe you will feel lazy. So the best thing to do is to not to depend on the back support and just make your body straight. But if you have a problem in the backbone, then you can lean back to the back support and just have and make sure that it is there for your support, and that's only for a little bit of a support only. Okay, so don't depend on the back support. It's much better to have a straight and a nice and steady posture like this. And then we are going to learn about the Siddhasana posture. This is one of the most easiest postures to sit for the meditation. To do that, first of all, you need to stretch your legs in front of you like this. This is called Dandasana in yoga. And then you have to bend your left leg, or you can bend your right leg also. It doesn't matter. And you have to bend your left leg and keep it under your right thigh like this. Okay? And then you can take your right leg and keep it over your left thigh like this. So when you adjust a little bit like this, and then you come to the Siddhasana posture. So this is so comfortable, this is so steady, and when you sit on the posture, you will feel that it is much more comfortable and steady. So when you sit in this posture, sometimes you may feel that your knee is like elevated from the ground. So to make this steady, you can take a nice cushion like this, a little cushion for meditation, and you can give a bit of elevation from your back, and after that you will feel much more steady and much more comfortable in this posture. So it is not a problem for having a little cushion behind you to give a little bit of elevation for the meditation posture, and you will feel more steady and more relaxed in this posture. And now we are going to learn about the Sukhasana posture. Sukha means the comfort and the easy. So Sukhasana means the easy posture. So to do that, you need to get into the Dandasana posture like this, as in Siddhasana posture. And then you are going to bend your right leg. Or if you can bend your left leg, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to bend my right leg. So you need to bend your right leg, and you need to keep your feet under your left thigh like this, right? You need to keep your feet under your left thigh. I'm sorry if you cannot see this because of my robe, but then you need to take your left leg and bend it and keep it under your right thigh like this, and adjust a little bit like this, and this is called the easy pose or Sukhasana posture. Now I'm going to teach you about the Vajrasana posture. So it is also one of the most easiest postures, and it is one of the most comfortable postures in meditation. But if you have some flexibility problem in your body, then this may be a little bit of a hard task to do, but it is very comfortable once you get used to this. So all you need to do, first of all, get into the Dandasana posture like this, and then bend your legs like this and sit upon your legs like this. Okay, so when you sit, your heels must be beside your buttocks like this, and then you can keep your hands on your knees, and it will give you a nice and steady and easy Vajrasana posture. Now we are going to learn about the Padmasana posture. Now, Padmasana posture is one of the most hardest postures that people say that they cannot sit in this posture for a long time. But I must say, once you get used to this, this is the most steadiest and most easiest and the most comfortable posture that you can sit in the meditation. So before getting to that, you need to get into the Dandasana posture as usual, like this, and then you're going to bend your left leg and you need to keep that left leg on your right thigh like this. Then you're going to bend your right leg like this and keep it upon your left thigh like this, and adjust a little bit. And here we have the Padmasana posture. It is very easy and it is very comfortable once you get used to this Padmasana posture. So if you have flexibility problems, if you have health problems in bending your knees and like bending your body, then please don't go for these postures at once, right? You can start from the chair, and you can little by little you can go for the other postures also, but it takes time. So to come to this posture also, it takes time, so you need to practice little by little. So this is the Padmasana posture, and it is very easy to sit down for the meditation, and this will give you a last long meditation without any problem. Okay, now we are going to learn the Burmese posture. So Burmese posture is very easy. All you need to do is to sit in the Siddhasana posture, and then it's very easy. Take your upper leg and keep it on the ground, right? Take your upper leg from your thigh and keep it on the ground, and you feel so steady and so comfortable posture. And this is called the Burmese posture, and this is one of the postures that Burmese monks sit for the meditation and they use for the meditation. So this is very easy and this is very comfortable, and also this is very steady in doing meditation. So this is the Burmese posture. So these are the most fundamental postures that you can maintain during the meditation. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. So practice these postures in your meditation and have a peaceful meditation for your life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to Buddhist Meditations. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing what are the types of meditations. Coming right up. So basically, our great teacher Supreme Buddha introduced two types of meditations, right? So Buddhist meditations can be categorized into two different parts. But these two different parts, these two types of meditations are interrelated, right? We cannot set aside one part and develop the other one, right? We need both of them to develop, right? So what are these two types? Number one, the first type of meditation is called Samatha meditation. And the other one is called Vipasana meditation. Okay, so let's clarify these things. So what do you mean by Samatha meditation? The word Samatha means the serenity or the peacefulness, the calmness. So Samatha meditations helps you to make your mind calm and peaceful. So that is the main aim of Samatha, right? Buddha said, Samahito bhikkhu yatha bhutang pajanati. When your mind becomes peaceful, serene, and calm, then it will be a help to see the reality, yatha bhutang, the reality, see the things as it is. Okay, so we practice the samatha as a help, as a tool to realize the reality. Okay, so that is the main aim of samatha. Vipassana meditation. Vipassana means, now the word vipassana means to see through something, right? To see the inside. So that is why we call vipassana meditation as insight meditations, right? Insight means these types of meditations will give you a deeper and a very clear view to your life, to inside your life, right? So these are the two types of meditation: samatha meditations, samatha bhavana, and vipassana bhavana, insight meditation. Samatha bhavana means calming meditations, and vipassana means insight meditation. So these are the two basic categories of meditations. So there are so many meditations falling under these two categories. We will learn one by one about them in the future videos. So first of all, then after that, we need to learn the importance of these two types of meditations, right? So why do we need to practice samatha, and why do we need to practice vipassana? Okay, first of all, the samatha meditation, it helps you to calm the mind, to make your mind peaceful. When your mind becomes peaceful, your mind gets clear. And then, if you practice the vipassana meditation, it will give you a clear view to inside your mind, to inside your life. It's like this. Now think, your mind is like a lake, right? So now you are looking at the lake from the top, from a bird's eye view, okay? So if the water in the lake is unclear, if the water in the lake is filled with mud and so many algae, then can you see the bottom, what is inside? No, you cannot get a clear view. And if your mind is, if the lake, the water is rippling constantly, if it is with ripples, can you see the clear view into the bottom of the lake? No, we cannot see. So what we need to do is we need to stay until this water becomes clear and still. Okay? So samatha meditation helps you to clear the mind, to make your mind very clear and very peaceful and calm. And then it will be a help. Then only you can see through the mind, right? Your mind get cleared, and you will have a good view and a clear view to the life that is inside you. So that is why we practice samatha meditation. Vipassana meditation helps you to realize the reality. It teaches you how the things are going inside this mind, right? So these two types of meditations should be practiced together. We cannot leave one thing behind. There are some people in this world, they say we don't want samatha meditation. We just only need to practice vipassana, right? We are full of wisdom. We need only the wisdom. We don't want the calmness and the peacefulness too much. No, you cannot leave one thing behind. Buddha never said that. Buddha said, samadhing bhikkhave bhaveta. Dear monks, practice the calmness and the peacefulness, collectedness of your mind, concentration of your mind. Because samahito bhikkhu yatha bhutam pajanati. When your mind becomes more clear and more peaceful and more calm, it is very easy to see the things as it is. Okay, so these two meditations should be practiced all together, right? These two meditations are interconnected and interrelated. So in the future, when you get and when you receive the Buddhist meditation audios, which you can listen to the meditations, you can practice these two types of meditation all together. But as the first step, in this video series, in the first videos, we will be discussing about the Samata meditation, how to calm your mind, how to make your mind peacefulness, because that is what you need the most, right? Without a peaceful mind, without a calm mind, we cannot attain big things in our life, big achievements in our life. We need to know how to control our thoughts and our emotions. Okay, so that is why we need to practice these meditations. So that is all for this video, and in the next video we will be discussing about another important factor about meditations. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So I wish you all, may all of you have the great opportunity to find the ultimate happiness in your lives. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, we're going to discuss about the two ways of practicing loving kindness meditation. Coming right up. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us there are two ways to practice loving kindness meditation. One is Mahagata Cheto Vimukti, and the other one is Appamana Cheto Vimukti. Mahagata Cheto Vimukti means the expansive liberation of the mind, and Appamana Cheto Vimukti means limitless liberation of the mind. So we are going to talk about these things. So first of all, let's talk about Mahagata Cheto Vimukti, how to practice this method of loving kindness meditation. Well, there's a certain way to practice this. First of all, when we look at the word Mahagata, it means the expansiveness. That means we are expanding our love and kindness from one step to the other, step by step, right? So that is one way. Mahagata Cheto Vimukti. There's another word. What do you mean by Cheto Vimukti? Cheto means the mind. Vimukti means liberation. So the liberation of the mind in an expansive way. So what do we liberate our mind from? We liberate our mind from anger, hatred, and jealousy, and all the other evil thoughts that is arising inside our mind. So when we do the loving kindness meditation, we practice more love and kindness and compassion. When you practice it, your heart and your mind is liberated from anger, hatred, ill will, jealousy, and other thoughts like that. So that is what we call the liberation of the mind, Cheto Vimukti. So how to practice this Mahagata Cheto Vimukti? As the first step, we are starting to spread the love and kindness to ourselves. Like you think, may I be free from anger. When you think that, you need to wish it, you need to mean it, and you need to feel it, right? May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from mental suffering, physical suffering. In that way, you start to spread the love and kindness towards yourself first, right? Once you are fulfilled with your own love and kindness, once you are filled with your own loving kindness, then as the next step, we expand our thoughts of loving kindness and we try to spread that love and kindness to the beings around us, right? Maybe if you are if you are doing the meditation in a room, you can consider the room. May all the beings in this room, seen or unseen, may all these beings in this room be free from anger. May they be free from ill will. May they be free from jealousy. Like that, you need to expand your thoughts of loving kindness to the room. Then you can take your home. You can expand the area of your spreading of loving kindness. You can consider your home and you can think, may all the beings in my home be free from anger. You need to spread that love and kindness to the home. Then you can consider your village or city or town that you are living. And take that town, consider from your mind, and then you need to spread your loving kindness towards them equally, right? Now, in every time, remember when you say that may they be free from anger, you need to mean it and you need to feel it. That is what we need in meditation. If it was just a phrase, now you don't feel it, if you did not feel it, it's not successful, right? So you need to mean it and you need to feel it, right? If you can do that, you're enjoying the meditation and you feel that peacefulness within you. Okay? So we spread the loving kindness to our beings in our city. Then we expand that area to maybe to our country, right? Then we expand that loving kindness to our world, right? This whole earth. And then we can expand our thoughts of loving kindness from our earth to this solar system and to the universe. It is sort of like a ripple, right? It is starting from very little point, that means from yourself, and little by little, from step by step, we are expanding the area of our spreading of loving kindness, right? So from yourself to your room, right? From your room to your home, from your home to your village or city, from your city to your country, from your country to this whole earth, and from your planet to this whole universe. That is the way of spreading loving kindness in Mahagata method, or the expansive liberation of the mind. Then we come to the second step and second way of spreading love and kindness. What is that? Appamana Cheto Vimukti, limitless liberation of the mind. So how to do that? In this way, in this method of meditation, we consider, like we considered about the room and the land area in the Mahagata method, we are considering about the directions of this world. Now, if you are sitting here, then you can imagine the direction, right? You can imagine and you can consider the beings who are living in the northern direction, right? When you consider the northern direction, it is limitless, right? You can consider and you can spread your love and kindness unlimitedly, without any stopping point, without any point, right? Without any ending point to this world. When you consider the northern direction, right? Then you have to think that may all the beings in the northern direction be well and happy. May they live long. May they live in peace. You have to spread that love and kindness to that direction. Then you can go to the northeast direction. You can consider that direction and consider all the beings and each and every living being, right? Small, big, right? Seen or unseen, each and every living being. Let your love and kindness to spread and reach into those living beings, right? So you spread considering about the direction northeast and then east. Then you go to southeast, then southwest, and then northwest. Like that, you consider all the 8 directions, right? North direction, northeast direction, east direction, and then southeast direction, southwest direction, and northwest direction. Consider one direction out at one time and spread your love and kindness by thinking, may all the beings in this direction be free from anger. May they be free from ill will. May they be free from jealousy. Like that, you have to think again and again, right? Then, these are the 8 directions. There are 2 other directions left. What are those 2 directions? The upper direction and the lower direction, right? The beings who are living in upper direction, you can spread your love and kindness to the beings who are living in the upper direction. And then lower direction, from your sitting place to lower, to beneath your sitting place, right? So these are the 10 directions that you can spread the love and kindness. So when you spread your love and kindness in apamana ceto vimukti, or limitless liberation of the mind, it is sort of like a globe that you are spreading love and kindness. So these are the 2 ways that you can practice the loving kindness meditation, right? But remember, these are not so much complicated things, right? Take them as so peaceful and easy things, right? You don't want to make it complicated and so stressful. Just think about them and just spread your loving kindness according to these 2 methods. When you do that, your meditation will be a perfect loving kindness meditation. So practice loving kindness meditation as much as possible and every day, and enjoy an anger and hatred free life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, we're going to be discussing about the benefits of loving kindness. Coming right up. So remember, there are so many benefits that we can gain by practicing the mind of loving kindness. Now, these are not only the benefits that we can gain by practicing the loving kindness meditation, but if we need to gain these benefits, we need to practice the mind of loving kindness in our day-to-day life, in a practical way, right? The loving kindness should be in your bodily actions. The loving kindness should be in your verbal actions, that means in your speech. And also, most importantly, the loving kindness must be there in your mind, right? That is the most important thing, because when you practice the thoughts of loving kindness, automatically your actions, your words will be more lovely and more kind, because it is the rule of our life. Our thoughts become our actions and our words. Our words and actions become our habits, and our habits becomes our character, and the character determines our destiny. So what we need to do is we need to generate and we need to cultivate more lovely and kind and compassionate thoughts in our mind. The more we cultivate these loving kindness thoughts inside our mind, our life will be more peaceful. So our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, taught us there are 11 benefits that you can gain by practicing the mind of loving kindness. Now, this is a special discourse that was done by our great teacher, Supreme Buddha. You can find this sutta in the Numerical Discourses of the Buddha, the book of Numerical Discourses of the Buddha, the Anguttara Nikaya. And you can find it in the book of Levens. In this sutta, Buddha says, because when the liberation of the mind by loving kindness has been pursued, when the liberation of the mind by loving kindness. Now, We talked about the liberation of the mind, the Ceto Vimukti, in the earlier episode of the meditation series. So if you don't have any idea about what is liberation of the mind, please check out that. Then you will get a good understanding about that. So the Buddha used several phrases and words to describe how you should practice this mind of loving kindness. Buddha says, because when the liberation of the mind by loving kindness has been pursued, that is the first word. You need to pursue the mind of loving kindness. Developed, you need to develop it. That means little by little, you need to develop your mind of loving kindness and increase the amount of the spread of loving kindness and cultivate it, right? You need to practice it and cultivate in your mind, right? Let it grow through your mind. And this is the special word that Buddha used. It should be made like a vehicle, right? Yani kathaya, Buddha says. That means it should be like a vehicle. Now, how can we practice loving kindness like a vehicle? Now, once you get used to drive a vehicle, right? Once you are a pro at driving a vehicle, at any time, at anywhere, right? In any instance, you can drive that vehicle. You can get into it and you can drive on. Because you don't have any hesitation and you don't have any doubt about driving and how should I drive and where should I drive. Like that, you don't have any hesitation and doubt about driving. So same goes with the mind of loving kindness, right? That means you need to have the ability to practice the loving kindness meditation or mind of loving kindness at any time, anywhere, in any instance. So that is what Buddha says. Yani katai, or it should be practiced like a vehicle. And then Buddha said, you need to carry out the meditation again and again, okay? And consolidated. You need to make your mind of loving kindness solid and unshakable inside your mind. And you should properly undertake the meditation. That means you need to properly practice it and do it again and again. Make it a habit and make it a part of your life, right? Your loving kindness should not be separated from your life. We don't want to think and take the loving kindness into our mind. It should be there already inside the mind. Once you have the mind of loving kindness inside your mind already, you don't want to be afraid of any angry situation, any stressful situation, because you will stay peaceful and calm forever. So that is what you need to. These are the qualities that should be there inside the mind of loving kindness. And once you develop these qualities, and once you develop such a mind of loving kindness, you will gain 11 benefits out of it. So what are the 11 benefits? Number 1, Buddha says, one sleeps well. You can sleep peacefully because you don't have any enemies in your life, inside your mind. You don't become angry with anyone. Now, think like a day, a night, when you go to bed, your mind is in anger. If your mind is in anger, can you sleep easily? No, you cannot do that. Your sleep is not peaceful. So if one practices the loving kindness, he can sleep peacefully. And Buddha said, one awakens happily. If you sleep well, if you sleep peacefully, right, it is normally you can wake up peacefully. You will feel refreshed. Now, there are some days that you feel so much stressed and so much tired even after a good sleep, right? But if you practice the mind of loving kindness, you will have a good sleep. Because of that good sleep, you will wake up refreshedly. And then, Buddha says, one does not have bad dreams. You will never see bad dreams, right? Now, there are people who sees nightmares all the time whenever they sleep. If you practice the mind of loving kindness, you will never see nightmares. And Buddha said, he will be pleasing to human beings. That is a natural thing that happens when you practice the love and kindness, right? If you spread the love and kindness, and if you do lovely things from your body, from your mind, from your speech, everyone will like you. Everyone around you will like you. So you will be pleased by people. And then Buddha said, one is pleasing to non-human beings. You will be pleased by non-human beings also, because you spread the love and kindness to everyone, right? Now, it's normal that we all like to associate and be with a person who has the love and kindness in his heart. Isn't that right? Yes. So everyone will like you, right? No one will come to harm you. And Buddha said, you will be protected by deities. The deities that wishes the good of that person will always protect that person, right? And also, Buddha said, fire, poison, weapons do not injure that person. If you practice a strong mind of loving kindness, you will be protected from fire, you will be protected from weapons and poisons, right? That is a special benefit. And also, Buddha said, one's mind quickly become concentrated. Your mind will be concentrated quickly because your mind is peaceful. Your mind is stressless. You don't have any depressive thoughts. You don't have any angry thoughts in your mind. Your mind is not distracted easily because you have a strong love and kindness within your heart. That anger cannot shake your mind. So your mind will be naturally, it will be more concentrated and tranquilized. And Buddha said, once you have a tranquilized and peaceful mind, your facial expressions, your facial complexions will be more pleasing, right? If you need to look better, practice the loving kindness. Because once you practice the love and kindness, your heart becomes peaceful, your heart becomes beautiful, right? Remember, beauty is not only the skin beauty. You need to have, beauty should be within, right? When you have a beautiful heart, you are beautiful within, and also you are beautiful from your complexion also, from out also. So practice the love and kindness, you will be more beautiful, right? Then, as the 10th benefit, Buddha explained, one dies unconfused. There are so many people in this world, they die with a confused mind. They lose their consciousness, right? They run out of their mind, they become confused when they face the death. But if you have the love and kindness within yourself, you will be able to die with unconfused mind. If you can die, if you can face the death with an unconfused mind, it's a great privilege and it's a great advantage that you can face in your life, right? And as the final quality, Buddha said, if he could not attain any state of this path of liberation, if he could not attain any state, a good state in Dhamma, right, he will be reborn in Brahma world. He will be reborn in the Brahma world because the Brahmas, they practice the Brahma Viharas. Brahma Viharas means metta, the loving kindness, karuna, compassion, then mudita, appreciative joyfulness, and upekkha, the equanimity. These are the 4 Brahma Viharas. So if you practice these 4 Brahma Viharas and these 4 sublime thoughts in your mind, your next life will be a peaceful one. So these are the 11 benefits that we can attain by practicing the mind of loving kindness. To practice the mind and to establish the mind of loving kindness, remember, we need to practice the loving kindness meditation, because in that meditation we cultivate, we mean, and we feel the love and kindness. We spread the love and kindness to ourselves and to the others. So these are the 11 benefits that you can gain. So practice the mind of loving kindness, practice the meditation of loving kindness, and enjoy a peaceful life. Namo Buddhaya. In one morning, while the Buddha was walking down the street, he saw a group of boys catching fish in the nearby lake. Now these boys were giggling and they were laughing by seeing the innocent fish suffocating to death. Then the Buddha silently and slowly walked up to these boys and stood in front of them. The boys froze with amazement by seeing the Buddha. Then with a kind smile on the Buddha's face, he asked from children, "Dear children, I have a question for you. Do you like to suffer and do you like to be in pain in your life?" Then the children replied, "No, sir, we don't like to suffer and we don't like to be in pain in our life." I mean, who likes it? Then the Buddha said, "Dear children, if you don't like to be in pain and if you fear the suffering, never give the pain and suffering to anyone around you, like you are giving this pain and suffering to this innocent fish." Then the Buddha said, "Dear children, never do any kind of misdeed from your body, from your mind, and from your speech. If you are going to do any kind of evil deeds from your body and from your speech and from your mind, the pain will surely follow you." Ladies and gentlemen, as living beings who likes to be happy and to be safe in our life, and as living beings who fear the suffering, we should not give the suffering to anyone around us. You see, life is an echo. What we give will come back to us. If we hurt, we will be hurt. And in the same way, if you spread your love and kindness to this whole world, just remember, it will always come back to you. Namo Buddhaya.